Hello everybody, today I will be feeding the cows. So you feed the cows inside of the barn. That's where I am right now. Let's get to feeding them. So when you go into the barn, which the entrance is right over there, there's a manger on both sides, and what you do first is you feed this little end grain. When you feed the cows grain, you take a scoopful of grain, which right now it's mixed with a little bit of hay for some reason. And you give that to 2 cows. And then you do that for the rest of the cows on this short end down here. So right now, I have just finished this one side, and now I'm going to do the other side. So I finished feeding this little end grain, and now we have to let the cows in. Like always, the cats still hang around. So next what you do is you take the cow's collar, take this thing right here, and tie up the cow. But you do that for the whole entire barn. So we have all the cows tied up, and now we have to start filling up the grain cart. So what you do is you press a button up here, and it comes out through the auger into the cart. Then you fill up the cart. I got the cart all filled with grain, and now we feed the cows on the other end. So now that we got the grain cart where we want it, we're gonna start feeding the cows. Just like you do on the other end, you take a scoop and feed it to 2 cows. So I just finished feeding this big end right here, and the next thing that we do is we feed the heifers that are down on this side. Now an actual video of me feeding the cows. There we go. I just fed the last cow, which means we're all done with grain.
5 minutes later.
So we finished feeding grain, and now we are going to be feeding this stuff, which is called hay. So when you get a bale of hay, you take it down, you walk it over here, set it down on the ground, cut the pieces of twine with this hacksaw, and then you start feeding. So I'm taking out these twines right here, taking about this much of hay and feeding that to 1 cow. And then you do that for the rest of the cows. Done with bale 1. Then we grab another bale, walk it down to where you want it, cut it open, and feed it to the cows. As you may have guessed, then we do the same thing for the rest of the barn. Next, I will be feeding the heifers hay, and first, I'm going to feed these little guys right here. Next, we do the same things, but for these cows. So I just did the same thing, but for these big guys right here. So right over here, I saw Kylo Ren. There he is. If you don't know who Kylo Ren is, you should probably go watch the My Cats video, which should pop up right about now up here. May be kind of hard to see, but the next thing I will be feeding is this stuff called protein. When you feed protein, you give 1 full shovel to 4 or 5 cows.
Eventually.
So we have finished doing chores, and we're all done. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you have any ideas for other videos or want a shout out, comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. The shout out in this video goes to MG Bros.